the larger issue is that majority of folks who identify as a producer are 98% male. That's only 2% are identifying as women. And that means an even smaller percentage identify as gender nonconforming or trans. And while we learn so much from the incredible men in our community, if we are not owning and controlling our own narrative and making our own music end to end, the stories and the history that's told is through a male perspective, which continues to keep us in a place of repression and oppression. And it perpetuates stereotypes that are not true about us because somebody else is making music about us instead of us making music about our own authentic experiences. So that's why this conversation is important. It's not even just an ego thing of like, I'm a producer. It's like, we actually need to have the skill set to support our own advancement in society. Like, it's so deep. It's actually so radical to invest in our own skill sets. The second thing that I'd love to say about that topic is that, of course, if we see only 98% people who identify as producer are, kind of a straight white bro aesthetic, or not even, let's just kind of paint a wide brush, because when you go on Instagram and you hashtag producer, that's what's going to come up. Then of course, we're never going to see ourselves like that, because no matter how much we make beats, we're not part of that culture. So it's very difficult for us to call ourselves a producer, because the way the cultural zeitgeist has come to understand what that word means is someone who looks like a Diplo. And so the more we do it and the more we own that identity, we're making it possible for other folks who don't look like that mainstream definition of producer to feel like this work is accessible to them and this skill set is accessible to them. So if tomorrow I post a post that says, hey, everyone, I'm looking for a video director. Or if I say, hey, everyone, I'm looking for a bass player for my upcoming tour. Or say, hey, everyone, I'm looking for a photographer. The names that will typically get submitted to me are John and Michael and James and Harry. And the question I'm asking is, where's Tiffany and where's Kiran and where's Dorian and where's Shauna in this list? Because the more I meet other women and queer folks and gender nonconforming folks, there's so much talent that's untapped simply because of whatever stereotypes that we have and perceptions about people's skill set in society. And so it's not like we want to have to actively seek out folks based on gender and things like that. It's that we have to offset for the inherent biases that exist in our industry today. And so that's why I do that. And of course, it's about getting someone who is the best, getting someone who is talented, but I do intentionally say I want to give opportunities and share my resources with folks who are typically underserved, because I was somebody who would have been passed over as a drummer. And it was other women and queer folks who put me on and gave me the opportunities to rise to the occasion and rise to the fullest of my potential. And so if we don't do that for our own community, others are not going to do it for us and will continue to be held back. Yeah, I think, so often when I would go into a club environment or I would go into the gym or I'd listen to what's sort of the top music on the radio these days, the beat is so good, the music is so good, the instrumental is so good, but then I listen to the lyrics and I'm just kind of baffled at the degree to which we tolerate misogyny in our culture without even blinking an eye. And we're all dancing to it and we're all listening to it and we're all playing it loud as we drive around. And music is like mantras. So whatever it is that we're internalizing, we're only reaffirming things that are in society. And if those things are not good for us, we have to be more intentional and conscious about actively deciding what it is that we're going to consume as music listeners. Now, I'm not here to tell other people how to make their music, but I do think we all have to step up and provide and design the alternative. And so in my music, I try hard to design beats and instrumentals that could fit into sort of the culture today, but then choose to write lyrics that when somebody is singing it back, regardless of their age, gender identity, ethnicity, it's something that I genuinely believe is good for them. It's something that when they repeat it back, like, all my bad habits have got to go, or I'm just trying to focus, or, I give love, truth is love, and love will free us. Whatever it is, I want it to be something that's good for my listener, that's nourishing for them. I also, think we have such a huge movement in terms of what we consume in terms of food. We're always looking for healthy food, organic this, is it gluten-free? Is it plant-based? Whatever. I'm definitely interested in a movement that talks about what we are consuming as music listeners. Congrats, Dorian. That's super, super cool. I'm hyped for you. And also, like, when I see my other people like going all the way up, like, it just shows us what's possible, So Dorian's like talking about all these awesome things. And I'm like, see, like, that's what this is all about, is the more that we each shine, the more we're just showing other people what's possible and what it looks like to step into your power. You know, it's just so good. My first two albums, the first one was called Voices, the second one was called Visions. So this is the third one in a sort of a trifecta, which is Vibrations. So this is far more an album about love, about longing, about bringing the kindest, most tender version of yourself to whatever it is that you're doing. And I'm feeling like this record has far more depth because it's sort of like a slow burn. I've made it over a longer period of time in comparison to the past two albums that I made, which were pushed out a lot faster. So I'm very excited to kind of put out a more seasoned body of work that has a bit of a maturity to it that I'm feeling very proud of.